Buongiorno. Give us a thumbs up if you can hear me. Can you hear me all right? Frozen margarita if you can hear me. Looks better than Buckfast, Jesus Christ. I've had some of that, it's deadly. Oh, that's strong, that is. Oh, wicked. Good, good. I'm on the balcony. My laptop won't let me do a Facebook Live. If anyone knows how to do it, tell me. Might be a bit easier because I can't really see what's being said on here. I know you did give it to me, as in the drink. Frozen margarita, that's what it is. Good effort. Nice. No, it is another hotel, I suppose. I'm just down in London. Been for a meeting with Tom Chilton and some other people. It's quite interesting. Watch this space on that one. MD 2020, behave. There's nothing wrong with MD 2020. So what's going on then? What's happening? I ain't got a... No, he didn't do me hair. It'd look better than this if he did it. Mine during the season break, or can't wait for it to... Funny one, the season break for me, because it's not really a season break for me, because I'm flat out. I've had, I think in between the two races, Crofton and Snetterton, I'll have only had 3 days off, I think. So the break, it isn't a break for me. It is a break from touring cars, but it comes round like as quick as it would anything else. Let's just scroll down here. I don't want to miss anything. Did Tom do me hair? We've said no. Rob Marsh, hello. Would you be able to get me some free tickets, maybe even a VIP? I'll be your best friend if you do, and tell everyone I paid for them because I'm a liar. Nice word, fella. Don't work like that. My mum and dad are just in here, and I do you know, that's the one thing that annoys me about touring cars is getting all the tickets. I have 2 passes. I only had 1 pass from ITV, and I had to ask for a second one. Just shit, dropping money everywhere. And yeah, you have to ask for everything. It's a nightmare. So can never get my mates in. Sometimes at Alton a few teams owe me a few favours, but even then at Alton it was a nightmare. I couldn't do anything about it. So I'm afraid that is going to be a no, Rob. Ham and pineapple pizza. No, just had a chicken salad. I'm doing the Great North Run, so I'm trying to train a bit for a dementia charity, which I've got £1,000 target for, and I've got 1,200 quid. And a few people on Twitter have really helped me out. Tom Ingram, one of the drivers, he's donated, and a load of other people as well. Simon Blankley, if you remember him. So that's cool, isn't it? So the lads have been helping me out. If you could give a dead arm to anyone on the grid, who would it be? Louise Goodman when she's doing a grid walk. What razors do you use? Do you keep the receipt? I never shave, just because I can't be arsed. Stuart Freelove, you're Emily Linscott's driver coach. How do you feel about young female drivers coming through the ranks? Emily Linscott. Emily's very good, actually. Got some days coming up with her. I think one's at Snetterton pretty soon. How do I feel about them? They're exactly the same as anyone else. You've got the same body temperature, you got arms and legs, you were all the same. Obviously different gender. Doesn't come into it to me. For me, if you're good enough, then you're in there. So, and Emily would probably tell you the same, and also the other female drivers that are in the paddock as well. But I do think one of them's escaped us, and that was Sophia Fleisch. I thought that was a nightmare that she left the UK scene, because she was one of the best females I've ever seen. So yeah, we've lost out there, but I'm sure she'll do well in German Formula 4, and she'll move upwards and onwards. So yeah, it's grand. We just need more females, don't we? But as I say, just need to get them in the seat and crack on. But yeah, give them a go and see where they go. What we got? Obviously, unfortunately, I'm hearing a couple of cars free. Oh, Alan Groves. Yeah, there is a couple of cars free, isn't there? I was going to jump in a car at the tyre test, but it was my only few days off. Well, it was only my only 2 days off in a row, so I wasn't too concerned that didn't come off, to be honest. But yeah, what would I want to jump into? At this very minute, probably a motor-based Focus. They seem to be going pretty well. They've got good speed. But yeah, I think that car will be filled by someone very, very good. But yeah, I think it'd be a motor-based Focus at the minute, because they're coming to some circuits that they did really well at the back end of last year and the year before as well. Have you got a Spice Girls album? No, I haven't, Simon. I think they're shit. My friend Ryan Bensley tells me you're a bit of a runner. Amber Goss, yeah, I am a bit of a runner, and me and him are going to be running that Great Enough Run that I'm doing for the dementia charity, Sporting Memories. Ryan's doing it with me, and he's also my mortgage advisor, which is quite interesting because I don't own a house. Just posted the same. Leonie Holmes, what's in the girly looking drink? Oh, that's a frozen margarita. It's lovely. Hello again, Jeff. I want dressed up as Scary Spice. Do you care? No, I don't, Rob. Favourite Spice Girls song to be serenaded by? I don't know what serenaded means. Is that like a salt or a pepper or something? Is that where you, oh no, that's seasoning. Who's your money on? I.e., what you just dropped for this season? Scott, what are you on about? Anyway, who do I think's going to win? It's going to be between 3 people. It's going to be Colin Turkington. I think Colin will win it. If he has a good knockhill, a really good knockhill, I think the damage will be done then, and I think he'll have done it. But Shedden will always be strong. It depends how they all go into the last race, because the Honda is always the strongest car around the GP circuit. So if they're all level on points, then it'll just be Gordon Shedden wins it, for me anyway. Ashley Sutton, though, and I said it at the end of Alton, he's got to be watched. How it goes with the cars and how they go forwards, I don't know, as in, you know, how they regulate the car's performance and stuff. I don't know how that'll work, but I really do think that it'll be Turkington. I think if you said here's $1,000, you've got to put it on someone, I think Colin. If I had the opportunity and I had $1,000 and it was £500 on 2 drivers, it'd be Shedden and Turkington, full stop, end of. What we got here? Sorry if I look a bit. I'm just trying to go through these. What we got? Drops. No. What's more of a party animal, Jeff Harvey or Jeff Ryder? Back to you, Jeff. Oh, everyone at ITV thought I said back to you, Jeff, like trying to be funny. I wasn't. I was just, my head was battered by you lot. It's definitely Tim Harvey. I think Tim's a bit of a. He'd have it large if you could get him out on the drink. But Ryder, he drinks like like the half pint things. Like remember Bullseye, like the weird like old working men's club drink type pint glass things. He's weird, Ryder. Watch out for him. I think he'll end up in prison. Do you think you could drive the Subaru quicker than Plato? No. Why is everyone talking about Spice Girls? It's interesting, that one, Amber, isn't it? I haven't got a clue either. Have you fallen out with Charlie Digweed? No, I've seen Charlie at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. What a lovely lad he is. You should all take a leaf out of his book. He's a lovely lad, he is. An absolute gent. I love him. He's a grand old kid. Pineapple on pizza. I don't eat pizza. What are you on about? If one synchronised swimmer drowns, what happens to the others? Mark, that's a fantastic question. I've never really thought about this. Is so strong. My sister made me this. I'm hammered. We got it. Is that a bald patch shining off the window behind? Yeah, it could be actually. Yeah, it might be. No, it's all at the front. It's going. Doesn't really matter. The fatter and bolder I get, the better looking my birds get anyway. So grow up. Favorite Disney movie? Toy Story 3. Yeah. Which other manufacturer would you like to see involved, and And with which car? Andrew Ballard. I don't really care, to be honest. The manufacturer thing I find really interesting. From someone who's driven for a manufacturer, and now for someone who is involved in television and looks at it from a different point of view, I don't actually care who it is, as long as it's up the front, it's got a good driver in it, and it goes large and has it big time. That I don't really care who it is. It could be Skoda for all I care. As long as that thing is up the front, I don't care. And like got someone in it who gives it the big and like Ash Sutton or something like that. Why am I showing my chest off? Burt Reynolds has been on the phone. Doesn't want his chest wig back because I ain't got one. Hello, Steph. Good to see you, dude. Who do you like better, Jeff Waller or Jeff Dave Santos? Jeff Dave Santos every day of the week. Do you like boost, Jeff? Why are you saying boost? Are the car's turbocharged? Are they regulated? But I didn't even know that. I thought they were normally aspirated. Who is next to join the BTCC? Which manufacturers would you like to see back? As I say, I'm not really bothered. I don't think it matters. The manufacturer thing is, I just think it's really interesting because I don't know what to say about this manufacturer thing. I wouldn't get too hung up on it because manufacturers don't even care. I haven't seen the manufacturers. There's only probably Honda and Subaru that actually mention that they're in touring cars, don't they? I don't think as a fan you should care about that. It's great maybe to see a type of car, but it's like Mercedes and people like that. The teams just choose the cars, to be honest. Most of them anyway. But it'd be great if it was back in the 90s and we all got this super touring thing, you know, like it was back in the day, and the drivers were getting paid, but that's not the case anymore. Arcomo was the future for hairstyles. I wouldn't know, Simon. Are you saying Operation U-Tree should be on the lookout for Jeff Ryder? Don't know. Would your definition of a spa day include the famous racing circuit or leering over sweaty baps and bums? Baps, as in like bacon baps. Star Wars or Star Trek? Simon Palmer, do you know what, mate? I have never in my life watched Star Wars or Star Trek ever in my life, ever. How weird is that? Everyone thinks I'm weird. My old sponsor, sunshine.co.uk, Chris Brown, who was same age as me actually, he was mad into one of the two, and I couldn't ever remember what it was, and his whole birthday was themed as Star, the one with CP30, C3PO, whatever it is, that one, and because I said it was the other one, he went mental and pulled the sponsorship, and I don't race anymore. I'm joking about the last bit, but he did go a bit mad. What are you drinking there, Paul? Harry? It's frozen margarita, and it's really strong, mate. Hammered. Could Mike Bushell cut it in the BTCC, given the right backing? Definitely yes. Yes. Big fan of Mike's. I've worked with him at Pyro once or twice, and he's a talent, a real talent, and it just shows that you can win all the Clio Cup titles you can, or races or whatever, if you are in the touring car championship at a certain time when maybe a particular car isn't maybe good enough, or it's your first year and you're on the back foot. It's difficult. I've been there. It's hard work. It's really difficult. It's all the stars have to align to do well in touring cars, definitely. Who does Louise Goodman prefer, Jason Plato or Tom Ingram? To be fair, you do have a say on who you interview, but it's a story, and it's whoever is doing whatever, and ITV have a big say on what that is. So I've done the grid interviews, and you kind of get a bit of a, we should be doing this, and you have to agree with it, and vice versa. So it's a bit of a two-way thing. So I don't even see the grid interviews because I've done a Twitter hit usually, and it goes off the back or onto the grid. I don't actually see any of the grid interviews because I'm too busy running then to go and watch it on the television. So I don't usually see all that. So I never know. I don't know what I'm doing here. Describe Scott Waller in one word. Whatever. No. In one word. weird. Would I consider taking part in TCR UK next year? Yeah, definitely, Sheila. I think it's a proper series, and I think it'd be a great series for touring cars to take drivers from, because the cars are good. I've driven one. I think they're excellent, but it'll be interesting to see how it's run, how it's perceived, what circuits they go to. BRSCC are good people, I think it'll be alright. Reminds me very much of that Super Copa See It thing. Remember back in the day with the splitters and the spoilers and the paddle shifts? I think it'd be cool. Sorry, Betfair have just emailed me, go away. I think it's a good series, be interesting. I think you'll get a lot of drivers who can't afford to be in British touring cars that are in that series, which will make it really, really cool. I don't think the racing will be as close. I think it's got a bit more aero than our cars, British touring cars. I might be wrong, I'm just guessing because I've driven the cars. They've got flat bottoms and all sorts of stuff. So anyway, we'll see what happens. It's good that we've got something like that, TCR. I think it's a good thing. Have you ever known a safety car to be deployed to make a race more exciting? Can't answer that. Should Rob Austin get rid of the beard? Did it cost him 42 thousandths of a second? Or was that 40? Anyway, it's a really short distance, isn't it? I like the beard. I think it's cool. I think all this bollocks about you having to have a shave and it having to be this. I remember a couple of my sponsors and team people at the end of when I was racing were saying, you should look sharp, should look this. Who cares? I really couldn't care less. If it lost me a sponsor, then that sponsor needs to get a grip. Rob's doing well with the beard, isn't he? Keep it, man. Be yourself at the end of the day, kids. I don't know what I'm pointing at there. I'm pointing over there to the sun. Pointing at you. Steps or Spice Girls? Anders, you know better than that, mate. What's your favourite car you've ever driven? I'm assuming your main race car. I reckon Porsche Carrera Cup car was a real cool car to drive over a lap, but to race, it'll be a British touring car, and it was, and still is, and never will be beaten, was a Honda Integra 2010, when the team had just took it to absolutely strip it to pieces, because we had a few more quid than we had the year before, and it was just a mega race car and just shown the big boys. It wasn't me, but that car shown the big boys and the manufacturers that were in it then what day it was. It was great, loved it. Where do you get your energy from when you commentate? And I just love it when you do. Thanks, Kaz. Oh man, do you know, it's just so cool watching youngsters drive around the track who it means there's nothing else that means more to them than racing, and in some of my years in British touring cars, that's exactly how I was, and that's why I get so excited, because I feel like I'm racing with them, or I'm sat in the car racing that particular car. I think that's why I just get so excited. And also the 55 Ginettas, some of them races, they should be on paper really boring, but they're not. They can be mega because the cars are set up pretty cool and they move around, and people make mistakes. It's great, isn't it? It's a privilege, isn't it, to commentate on something that you absolutely love. Can you hear that? Jesus Christ. Sound like Ash Sutton going past with 17 bar of boost. It's a nice rattle on the exhaust there. Do you think Dan Camish will get into a BTCC, or do you think he's looking for something different for the future? I can't comment for him, but I think he'd be a great addition to British touring cars. But if I was him, I would stick to GTs, because there's more money in GTs and there's more money in Porsche racing. As in, you get paid better, or you will get paid. British touring cars, you struggle to make a living. That's what I found anyway, and that's what I know most of the lads find as well. Rob Marsh, Geology Jeff here. Are you concerned about the potential environmental concerns surrounding fracking, or could you not give a baboon's big red bottom? Regards. mate, if it causes seriously, if it causes someone distress, I'd hate to live on a where I'm from is full of coal, and it's a nightmare. It causes all sorts of cracks and problems. What a conversation this is, mate. If it's a problem for someone, I do care. It's not nice, is it, if you're having a problem? Everyone has their problems. I have problems. This drink is a massive problem. If you were Lord Gow, who's Lord Gow, for a season, what would you change? Nothing. I don't think I'd change anything. This is how I put it to people. So, I don't race in British touring cars anymore because I can't be bothered trying to find the sponsors, and it takes up too much of my time. I have massive respect and admiration for your Josh Cooks, your Ash Suttons, your Tom Ingrams, your Jason Platos, all them people who sit down day after day after day on the computer and get their sponsors, and they sign them up for this and they sign them up for that. Most of them don't make any money out of it. They really don't. I have massive respect for that, and that's how I used to be. And I used to get a little $5,000 here and a $2,000 there, and you'd end up living off like $7,000 or $8,000, and you had to work every day that God sends. And I just got fed up with it. And there was hardly any cars on the grid. Sometimes I did it, but look at Alan Gow now. It's supply and demand. He's got 32 cars on the grid, and he's got all them TBLs sold, and it's all sorted. Wouldn't change a thing. If you asked me the same question, if there was 16 cars on the grid, then there'd be something I could change. But at the minute, supply and demand. If you want to do it, you go and do it. Scott Waller, weird. Thanks, I know you are, mate. Hello. Adam, do you think the BTCC will keep growing with the help of great racing being shown on ITV? I think one of the big things for British touring cars, the reason it's big is because of ITV's coverage. Steve Ryder, he's presented the Olympics. He's a proper anchorman, absolutely mega. Louise Goodman, F1 with Steve Ryder. Tim Harvey, British touring car champion. That is what a team ITV Sport have got. On a serious note, I think they're absolutely excellent. Can't knock it. 7 hours or wherever it is straight through. It's only going to get bigger. Everybody wants to be on it. Anyone I speak to in racing, if they're not in a single seater, and even some of the single seater kids, they know or want to be in touring cars. End of. We are so blessed. It's a good time to be alive in British touring cars. It's mega. Is it true boiling water is hot? Simon, I don't know about that. I did actually scold myself on the tap I'm just at my sister's apartment in London, and I pressed the thing twice and burnt the end of my thumb. Maybe it should come with warning tag on it or some instructions. Is this really frozen? It was frozen, but because I've been talking so much, all the hot air has melted it. Martin Atkins, no question, just to say you're hilarious. Thanks, mate. Me and my dad were in Colin Turkins. Oh, was that you, Martin? When you came over and described spinning up a McLaren in fourth gear. Cares to recreate that with the arm movements. Sorry, Martin. Yeah, mate, sorry if I don't know if I swore while your dad was there, but you guys are having a great time. How nice and how much of a gentleman is Colin Turkington? Oh my word. If you said to me, if you could be reincarnated when and if you die, I'll probably never die. Who would you come back as? Colin Turkington. He's just the perfect man, isn't he? He's just a proper guy. Jesus, imagine you'd insure him every day God sends. I don't think I've ever seen him bend a wing mirror back. Maybe in 2009 when he won the title and smashed Matt Neal out of the way, and I finished Matt off as well. Team Colin Turkington. What's this here? Matt Salisbury, why are you drinking a girl's drink? Grow up, Matt. What are you doing on a Friday night? I've got no friends. You must have a better excuse than that. Yes, Anders, I'm a chicken. Sensible question. Do you think the tracks should be mixed up rather than the same old each season? It is a bit samey, actually, isn't it? I was talking to one of the drivers about this. Yeah, but there must be a reason for it. At the end of the day, we don't pick the tracks, do we? And I don't know, maybe they get better deal here, better deal there. With regards to Alan Gow, and him picking it, I'm sure that's him that picks it. You've got to respect him fully because everything he does seems to be spot on. There must be a reason for it. If I was running it and there was no objection to doing this, that and the other, yeah, I'd mix them up. I remember when Thruxton used to be the first round, and all the newbies would get there and they'd just be at the back of the grid because it was just horrendous in a British touring car. But yeah, maybe it should be changed, but there's a reason why it isn't, so I don't know. I've got a melted Mars bar in my pocket because I'm diabetic and I need that in a minute. I think I'll be fine. There's enough sugar in this, isn't there? What have we got here? Scott, what would you do next year to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the BTCC? Stick V8s in them. What are you drinking? Scott, I've told you this a million times. If you turned up late, it's a frozen margarita, but it's now hot margarita. Graham Cambridge, what's your opinions on the 2017 Formula 1 season so far? Sebastian Vettel's drove into, what's that dude's name? Lewis Hamilton. Oh God, I hate Formula 1. I don't hate it, it's a strong word, but it just bores me to death. Grow up, Formula 1 drivers. Nice windows, Michael Epps, yeah. They're alright, aren't they? They're bulletproof. Mel C's house, bulletproof windows. Mickey Sargent, who would you most like to refill that glass? Ian Harrison. Question from a Twitter follower, as he's not on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook either. I'm using Jeff Army's Facebook here. I'm going to destroy it with loads of horribleness. Not on Facebook. A weak question: will you ever publish a guide on service stations? Would be handy for us travelling Edinburgh to BTCC circuits. Just ask me on Twitter. Tell me your route, and I'll tell you which ones are bad. Oh, limb services this afternoon was horrific. I could have murdered everyone. Slow walkers. It's like zombie apocalypse in there. Jeff Sam Turner, what is the weirdest thing you have ever seen in somebody else's house? I can't answer that. I really can't answer that. No, I can't answer that. I'm sorry, I really can't, because it's really weird. Jeremy Corbyn, Paul Corbyn. When are you next out driving on a rally again? What car would you mostly like to do it in? Oh, do you know what? I really enjoyed that. I did a rally at Alton Park. Well, I didn't. I did the out lap, or the first cone bit. It was an MX-5 for Paul Sheard, and the gearbox broke. Absolute nightmare. The MX-5s are bulletproof, and it broke. Love to do it again. I'd love to do it in that, or Seb Perez's and his dad. I've got a WRC Focus. That would be. I'd just like to be a passenger in that, because I'd probably crash off the start line in that with that kind of power. Oh yes, Mike X, you're going up in that C17. I did see that on Twitter, mate, with Ian Winman. On a serious note, down at Bryce Norton, my brother is he was a paratrooper, and I've been to Bryce Norton to do the C17 bomber thing, and I've been there to see my brother fall out in the paratrooping regiment. Oh my God, mate, it's the scariest thing ever. We were waiting to take off, and we had to wait because the other one that had gone up with all the friends and family and had to emergency land somewhere, but we still took off, and then it was the best one of the best experiences I have ever had, mate. It was awesome. They dropped the back over Cornwall. Go on my Instagram, OWY29. Have a look through. There's a video and there's some pictures, mate, of out the back. I haven't got many pictures on my Instagram. Have a look. It was absolutely mega. Take some pants though, because the landing is horrible. There's no sound deadening. There's no sound. It's like being in a Passat, flat out. It's horrible, mate. Not saying that your car's horrible. So refresh me. Which of the Spice Girls were you? Would you endorse Rob Austin's advice regarding taking a dump to get an extra couple of tenths? That's absolutely disgusting, Rob. Unbelievable. You think I'd answer that? Yeah, you should. Do you hold hands with Richard John Neal in the commentary box? Trevor, honestly, mate, they had a comms cam in there, so a camera that we sometimes talk to, but it's a bit too close because the comms box is really small. Honestly, mate, I've had hold of his arm actually, and I've had hold of him by the neck sometimes because there's a move on, or he's commentating and something's happening, and I'm like, I'm just like, mate, it's got to go off. Or like, I get up. Sometimes I've nearly strangled him. I hope he never hears this, but yeah, I nearly strangled him by accident once. Good question, that, Trev. Does Mike Epps like gnomes? Did you ever get that gnome back, by the way? The Jeff Army. Did you ever find that at Alton? Michael Epps his mum and dad have got the weirdest ornaments. They look like Rob Collard. Mike, if you're still here, mate, type what it's about or get a picture. Weird. Actually, I met Mike Epps' mum and dad on the way into Thruxton. They are lovely people, really nice, normal working class people, and I like them, good people. You seem to be trapped in a corner. Has Scott boxed you in? Can I show you where look at this? So, I'm just outside on the veranda, overlooking some... Can you see that over there? That's London. I hate London. It really annoys me. Anyway. Oh, it's bright. Oh, what have I done? Have I pressed something? No, pressed something. That was the computer screen, you see. What we got? Hi, Paul. What's the support series you would drop, replace, change on the package? Okay, Chris, what would I drop? Do you know what? I couldn't really say because some of the races I don't watch because I don't get a chance. I'm not going to say drop anything because they all add something to the Toka support series. Love to see mini challenge on there, if I'm honest. I'd love to see it, but when I have seen it, there's quite a lot of stoppages, but there is a lot of stoppages in our package as well, so I think I'd be wrong in saying that, but I'd like to see mini challenge. I think that's quite a cool series. It's good. Brett Smith coming along from mini challenge. He's won races in mini challenge, and he's been testing obviously his dad's car Eurotech, and he's gone well, so it just shows you the calibre of drivers in that. What else we got? Which one do you prefer on 5th gear? Mark 5 Astra or VXR or 888 Astra? 888 Astra. That was mega, that. Love that. That was cool, man. Would you be brave enough to relinquish your commentary seat just to have Murray Walker back for one season commentating? Oh man, I'd get the red carpet out, I'd let him stay in my house if I owned one. Murray Walker is probably the reason I race cars, and I say that because I used to all I used to do was watch Formula 1 with Murray Walker commentating. I didn't really care about the race cars. If I'm honest, it was just his high-pitched, engaging commentary that I needed to know what's that, and then I watched it, and then I got involved with the racing, and then I watched touring cars because he commentated on it, and then I raced touring cars. Murray Walker is the reason I'm talking to you tonight. What an absolute hero. Are you a member of the Cake Club? I think I am. No, I'm not a member of the Cake Club. It's a bit clicky, that club, to be honest. Are you and Turks having a bromance? Turks is just a legend, full stop. I've stayed at his house before, about 4 or 5 years ago when I was in Portadown. They're just nice people, and I like nice people. If you're a bit of a knob, I don't like you. Don't comment on that. You always have great things to say about the marshals. I am one. Would you like to spend the day being one? Do you know what, Kaz? The reason I say good stuff about you guys is because you do a good job, and if you didn't do a good job, then I would say you didn't do a good job. I think it's grand. I think all the drivers should do at least one day marshalling. I nearly did for Motorsport News, and you just reminded me that I did think about doing something a while back, and I should do it again. So I'm going to speak to Matt James and try and do a feature on it, but I think Plato might have done a feature on it a while back. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to do a day's marshalling, definitely, because it's a good thing to do, and I'd love to do it. What we got? Oh no, my phone's about to die. No! Gary, if you're still here, your phone hasn't died. Natasha, what's your opinion on grid girls? Oh no, no opinion on them. They've got me in a lot of trouble over the years. Why have they got me in a lot of trouble over the years? Because I did an interview with them quite a while back, and that wasn't a good thing, and I've been out with half of them as well. I'm watching this while showering. Carry on. Thanks, Rob. Coming back to Ignition this year? Yes, I am. Ignition Festival in Glasgow. I've just signed a contract for the 4 days. I love Scotland and I love Ignition, and it sounds like it's going to be mega. Terry Grant's up there doing the stunt show. It's going to be sweet. I don't even know if this is allowed to be said, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I think Lee Mackenzie's doing it with me. Famous or what? Nice windows. Who's the builder? I don't know. It was built in '97. Probably someone from London. The first rules of Cake Club is we don't talk about Cake Club. Oh God, talking to Cake Club, I've got a real bad sweat under my tit. Boob, sorry. Is it 9 o'clock yet? Whatever. Wine gums or Vimto bonbons? I've never even heard of Vimto bonbons. I don't like wine gums either. I'm diabetic. I've got to watch what I eat. Doritos or Mountain Dew? I've never had Mountain Dew. Doritos then, Jeff. Coke or Pepsi? Can't drink either unless it's diet because I'm diabetic. What's your favourite colour? Favourite colour is green, which is weird, isn't it? Everything I have is green. Weird. Sean Sheringham. Hello, fella. Hello, mate. Hello, mate, as Phil Glue would say. Nick Hunt. Do you think that overall the best racing across the board unfolded at Thruxton thus far? Also, your commentary with Richard is sometimes epic. I'm going to say, what a legend Richard John Neal is, an absolute legend. He is fantastic at what he does. He's knowledgeable. Do you know what, that guy on his days off goes to the circuits to find out all about the drivers and stuff. He is a proper guy, and I've learned so much. If it wasn't for that fella, I don't think I'd still be at ITV. End of. He's a proper guy, he is. Richard John Neal, love him to bits. Like my dad, he's a real good guy. Thruxton, yeah. How amazing did them cars look going round Thruxton? The touring cars especially, moving around, hopping, skipping. I think that was the hardest I've ever seen a touring car work at Thruxton in the 17 years I've been involved with it. It was absolutely mint. Tash has just texted me saying she's sorry for asking about the Grid Girl question. Cheers. I'm going to get so hammered tonight. I can't wait. Boxers or Y fronts? Do you know what? Today, weirdly, I always wear boxers, but I think I've got my sister's boyfriend's boxers on because I didn't have any spare ones. Did you need to know that? Probably not. Whatever. Don't care. Are you a Gillette or Wilkinson sword man? I don't know what either of those words mean. Al. Can I have my wheels back, please? I don't know what you're on about, Scott. I don't nick anything. Most drivers work so hard finding sponsors. Is there a way to make it so all drivers have the same chances? I would say make touring cars cheaper, and the teams need to employ someone to find sponsors. I tell you who does a mega job. Motorbase do a mega job. Finding that sponsor, Shredded Wheat, was a proper hard job for them, and they got it and they sorted it. So fair play to them. A lot of the drivers now bring money, and that's how it's been for quite a while. And I understand that the teams can't operate on their own, but you're losing out on a lot of good drivers because the teams can't get the money to do it, and the sponsors aren't there, or maybe the sponsors are there and the teams don't get it. I don't know. That's why I don't drive it anymore. So there's no incentive for me at all. Graham Cambridge, what do you think of the Ignition Festival last year? It was awesome. I think it'll be even better this year. Hello, Simon. Hi, Jeff. Nice to see you doing a Q&A after I've been badgering the hell out of you to do every round this year. Epic, mate. That's cool, man. Just shows how many friends I've got on a Friday night, doesn't it? Whole nut or fruit nut from Vanessa. Diabetic. I can't eat that kind of stuff. If I wasn't diabetic, it'd be fruit and nut. Or before I was diabetic, it would have been fruit and nut. Do you like Michael Bolton? Love Michael Bolton. And do you fancy belting out one of his classics in a Jeff Army campsite karaoke? You should give me an idea. Martin Reardon from ITV Sport has just actually texted me asking me about things we could do for carpool karaoke. So maybe it might be something along them lines. Michael Bolton, he was a ledge, wasn't he? My mum fancies him. Probably still does. Is Mel your sister going to be at SNET with you because I'd like to meet you both? No, she'd be probably busy. She has been a few of the touring car races, even when I've not been driving, to be fair. Will you be carrying a wheel brace with you in the Great North Run? I've got to wait another 15 minutes before I swear, and I probably won't be here. Don't be like that, Alan. I'm from Widnes anyway. People from Widnes don't steal things. Wobbly Jeff, aka Pete from Team Ard, wants to know if you remember him strapping your scholar in just before you rolled. Oh, before he rolled. VW. Sorry about that slurp. That was a massive shunt I had at Brands Hatch, man. That still rattled my head, that did. Bless him. That was a massive accident, that. Wouldn't want to go through that again, but I have rolled quite recently with kids that I look after. It's different. Actually, it's a day. I know we take the piss a few times about sitting in with youngsters and sitting in with people. It's no laughing matter. We get paid good money. Me, Ash Sutton, Josh Cook, Tom Ingram, all these people sitting in with these youngsters. We're RTA instructors, and I've had friends killed doing my job. Yeah. It ain't no laughing matter, and we get paid decent, but it's how much you value your life, and we do it because, one, we get paid, and two, we love the job. It's not something I want to be doing in the next 10 years, but I do it quite a lot. It's one of them things. You got a choice, haven't you? And I choose to do it, so yeah, it's not very nice, but it goes wrong sometimes, doesn't it? Billy Monger has surprised a lot of us with his determination to get back behind the wheel. You've met him since the accident. Were you in, or as we were? I think there's only a few things to say on that. I don't think I look at him any differently than any of you guys back at home watching the TV. Look at him. What a guy, what a legend, what an inspiration. 11 weeks and back in a car. End of. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I don't want to get chatting too much about that because it's still quite an emotional thing, isn't it? It's unreal. Have you seen the Gnome? I haven't seen the Gnome. Yeah, I was late. Have you seen Scott Waller? Who's Scott Waller? I'm here. Who is Scott Waller anyway? Have I missed loads of questions? Right, I better crack through these, haven't I? Sorry, I've taken the mick a bit here. Toilets are always so far away from the entrance at the services. Craig, you're right, nightmare. Tom Ingram is here, lads. Tom Ingram's here. Am I really far behind? Do you think Super Tourists should be added to the package? They have been on it a few times, haven't they? I don't think at every round, no. I think they should be on it a bit, maybe. Maybe not, I don't know. If you was in first position in the last lap, which current driver would you least want behind you? Rob Collard, because he'd probably crash into me. No, I'm joking. Rob Collard has been awesome this year. He's been a top man. He's drove sensibly and fantastically. He's been spot on. Would you like to see the Paras Infinity back in the BTCC? Yeah, my brother was a paratrooper for quite a long time. Would I like to see them back in? More the merrier. And the paratroopers, yeah, definitely. They did a good job, didn't they? Does Tom Ingram like gnomes? Probably. Nope, gnome is missing. Have you got... Jesus, lads, what's going on? That is an awesome view. I know, it's nice, isn't it? What would you... Hi, Paul. What would you... Dream team pick? Drive. Who would I like in a car, and what car would it be? Dream team. God, that's a really hard question, isn't it? Do you know what? I can't even answer that. I think we're dead lucky, aren't we? We've got Sutton in a Subaru, Turkington in a BMW, Sheddons and Neil in a Honda. He's mega. I don't think I could answer that, to be honest. Nice Breitling. It's actually fake. I got it from Thailand. It was about 60 quid. Don't tell anyone that. There's only 70 people watching anyway, so it's between us, isn't it? What silly rule would you put in BTCC race? That Joker thing looks good in World Touring cars. I've not actually seen it in operation, but the Joker lap that they have in like Rallycross and stuff, I think that'd be cool. That'd be cool. What do you think will fill in for Luke? Who do you think will fill in for Luke Davenport at Motorbase? I don't know. I really don't know, actually. I'd tell you if I really knew, but did Rory Butcher drive the car at the test? I think he did, didn't he? But I don't know who it would be. Maybe he was just testing, helping out, bit of setup. Pineapple on your pizza, yes or no? Yes, definitely. You'd let Murray Walker in your house? Yes, I would. I hardly think you can find a cardboard box bigger than the size of one person. Tell us about the rolling Junior Clio. What can you tell us about the... Don't know what you're on about, Gareth. What song would you choose for BTCC? I don't know. You Gotta Roll With It by Oasis. How about that? I think they might have used that one before. Was Tomo's Stag Do as good as it looked? Can't talk about Tomo's Stag Do. I've had to sign a thing saying I can't talk about it. It was amazing. Do you think other BC drivers and autographs could follow Senna to the BTCC? Definitely. Have you ever played Toka Series on the PS2? Yes. On the PS1 I had the original and I've had Toka 2. I've still got it, I think, back at home. Matt Neal or Jacket Potato Plato? Both. Kaz. Matt is... Let me tell you a story about Matt. He was obviously my teammate back in the day, but Matt Neal single-handedly got me back into touring cars in 2006 because, and I'll tell you dead straight how it was. So I'd not been in touring cars for a couple of years, and this was 2004, was off with diabetes, and I rang Matt because in 2006 I got offered a drive in the bioethanol car that Fiona Leggett had been driving, and she couldn't drive anymore for the end of the year. And I got asked if I could find £6,000 to drive it, and I didn't know anyone. I was working at Palmer's at the time, and I rang Matt Neal and I said, listen Matt, I've been offered this drive, mate, can you help me out? Do you know any sponsors? And he went, yep, I'll sort you out, mate. He rang me back about 20 minutes later and he said, I've got Fujifilm and TomTom who could help you out. I could get you £6,000. Just in that phone call, Matt got me the money, didn't want anything in return, got me back racing for the rest of the year, and he got me probably back into racing in 9, 10 and 11 as well, because it snowballed off the back of it. That's how I judge Matt Neal. How do I judge Jason Plato? Jason Plato is the first person who will ring you if you've won your first race or you've had a good result. That's how I judge him as well. Them guys are proper. I don't have any... I like Matt better than Jason better than Matt. I just don't. Them two guys are real proper fellas. We need them in the championship as long as we can have them. Anyone thinking this woolly back has got off lately? Yes. I'd rather be a woolly back than a filthy Robin Scouser like you, Chris. Thanks very much, mate. Would you ever date a cougar, please? What's a cougar? Is that an older person? Jesus Christ, if they're older than me, they'd be like 90, wouldn't they? What's your opinion on Knockhill? As I've heard some people who aren't so keen. Looking forward to seeing you at Ignition Festival again this year. Yeah, me too. Love the fact my battery's going to go in a minute. Love the fact I'm going to be up at Scotland again. What's my thoughts on Knockhill? Probably one of my top 2 circuits in the UK. End of. Perfect place. Love it. There's nothing better than driving a touring car around there. I think the touring cars don't look spectacular anywhere else. As spectacular. Proper place. You've got to love it. Mega. What's your favourite joke? I couldn't tell you that. Someone did tell me one the other day and I only just got it. How'd you kill a clown? Go for the jugular? No, not that funny, is it? Couple more, mate, then you can go. Oh, thanks, Scott. Yeah, because I'll have to go in a bit, mate. I need something to eat, to be honest. I've got a Mars bar here, but anyway. Would you join our party at the campsite at Snetterton? That's from Al. My days are long, mate, if I'm honest. When I'm at touring cars, I don't finish till like 8 o'clock, and then I've got to go and get drunk with all the runners and all the people at ITV, which is a shame, isn't it? But I will come over one time, mate. And I will do. If I say I will, I definitely will. If you could add one track anywhere on the globe, what would you pick? Ooh, Laguna Seca. Definitely. Like Laguna Seca. The corkscrew and all that. Michael Bolton. Love Michael Bolton. Miss you on Face 8. Will you be coming back? No. I can't be doing with Facebook. It's just too much time. It's too much time out your life. And I just can't deal with negativity. It just annoys me. And that's what you seem to get on Facebook. If my sister's in there with my mum, she's not going to give you a wave. The Clio Cup is fun to watch. Always provides some great racing. Does, doesn't it? I like it. Do you think Ash Sutton will win the championship? I think he's got as good a chance as anybody. That kid is on fire. That car looks like it's switched on. It's looking good. Favourite driver? My favourite driver ever, or just in British touring cars? I've got a couple. Ash Sutton is one of my favourites because of how he performs and how focused he is, and probably Andrew Jordan back in the day would have been one of my favourites as well, but I don't think he can attack as much as he used to in rear-wheel drive now, so he kind of like escapes my radar. But Colin Turkington, just because he's a class act as well. But Shedden as well. It's difficult, don't ask me things like that. Shedden, because of how he attacks in a front-wheel drive car, I think he's amazing. I'm not answering that, Alan Humphreys, that's disgusting. So we have just bought an RS2000 and they're entering it into a race series. It will be the Jeff Army car with livery. I've got to go press C more on that. How much for a coaching session with me driving? Is that a real question? If you want to know anyway, my day rate for coaching is 400 quid. That's what I do. Put it out there. That's what I do for a living. Force Indias should be bright pink. What is the budget difference between from BTCC to Clio's? I'd like to see Mike Bushell out there. I think someone can correct me if I'm wrong, that BTCC budgets vary. I think you're looking at maybe $500,000 to win it or more, and I think if you want to get in there and just get in there, you could probably get in there for about 250 grand, 300 grand, something like that. Touring Clio budget 125, 130 grand if you want to win it, 100 grand, something like that. I don't know. I don't know because I don't really want to be in it, so I don't know. Someone could probably answer that. Plato's had some really bad luck this season. His Subaru looks quick though. I think Jason will have a really good end to the year. 58-year-old Cougar. Oh, is that what a Cougar is? A 58-year-old, or is it just someone that's older than you? I'll go with anyone. I'm joking, I won't. Don't know. Doesn't matter how old you are. I'm not an ageist. Thanks, Jeff. You're a legend. See you at Snap. Gilf. Is that a grand that I'd like to what? 1% battery. Hey, listen, I don't know how much I've missed it. Oh no, we're getting to the end now. It's cool. I'm going to scoot off in a minute because my battery's going as well, because I keep having to tap the thing because it says you need to do this, that and the other. Thanks for answering, Paul. Hey, it's not a problem. Do you think Matt Jackson is due a championship? Do you know what? Do you know the Matt Jackson thing? I think, and this is a really bad thing for me to say, I think Matt may miss his chance if he doesn't get it done soon to win a championship, and that would be an absolute travesty. I think he's one of the most, Tim Harvey sayings, winningest drivers, and I think he might not win the championship if he doesn't get it done sooner or later, because people are coming in and they're winning the championship and it seems to be passing him by, and he deserves a championship, definitely, and he's been close, isn't he? It'd be a shame if he didn't get one. He's good enough to win it, it's not a problem. Okay, leave him alone, he's mine. Nice one. I'm going to have to go. Thanks, Scott. I don't know if I've been on that long, but anyway, if I've cut you short, I'm really sorry, but it's Friday night. I'm going to go and see my mum and my sister. I don't get to see them that much because I'm always working. Peace out. I'm going to down this now. Watch this. I'm going to have a Mars bar chaser because my tongue's tingling. I think I'm having a diabetic low. Hang on. What do we do with them? See you later. Finish.